On a desolate stretch of road beneath a vast sky filled with stars, I stumbled upon a roadside diner that seemed to emerge from the shadows themselves. Its flickering neon sign spelled out, "Lone Star Diner," casting an eerie glow on the deserted highway. Curiosity gripped me as I pushed open the creaky door, stepping into a place that would unravel a disturbing tale. The air inside was thick with a strange tension, as if the diner held secrets whispered among its worn-out booths. The fluorescent lights hummed, casting long, unsettling shadows that danced across the peeling wallpaper. The low murmur of hushed conversations added to the eerie ambience. I took a seat at the counter, the worn vinyl stool creaking beneath me. The only other occupants were a weathered-looking cook and a waitress with hollow eyes, moving with an almost mechanical precision. A sense of unease settled in the pit of my stomach as I ordered a cup of coffee to ward off the cold. As I sipped the bitter brew, an unsettling silence enveloped the diner. The low hum of conversation ceased, and the air grew still. I sensed a gaze upon me, and when I looked up, the waitress stood at the counter, her expression vacant. In a monotone voice, she spoke words that sent chills down my spine. "The night claims those who linger too long," she muttered, her eyes devoid of emotion. Confused and unnerved, I glanced around. The cook's gaze remained fixed on the sizzling grill, seemingly indifferent to the waitress's cryptic warning. Uneasy whispers floated through the air, carried by unseen forces that seemed to echo the tales of those who had passed through the Lone Star Diner. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. The diner's windows rattled, and an otherworldly wind howled through the cracks. The lights flickered, casting the room into a momentary darkness. When they flickered back to life, the once empty booths were now occupied by ghostly figures, silent specters with eyes that held tales of tragedy. The ghostly patrons sat in mournful silence, their presence chilling the air. Their faded faces bore expressions of regret and longing, echoing the unresolved stories that bound them to this roadside haunt. It became clear that the Lone Star Diner was a purgatory of sorts, where the echoes of the past lingered, refusing to fade away. With a sudden burst of realization, I understood the moral lesson embedded in this disturbing encounter. The diner served as a metaphor for the consequences of choices made and the impact they have on the tapestry of existence. The lingering spirits were trapped by the weight of their own deeds, unable to move forward into the unknown. As I hastily left the Lone Star Diner, the ghostly figures stared after me with hollow eyes. The chilling encounter served as a stark reminder that our actions, like ripples in a pond, have far-reaching consequences. The lesson was clear: to embrace empathy, understanding, and forgiveness in our journey through life, for it is in these virtues that we break free from the haunting chains of the past and find solace in the light of redemption.
One chilly evening, as the moon peeked through the clouds, I stumbled upon a roadside diner named the Whispering Pine. Its neon sign flickered like a lonely firefly, casting an eerie glow on the empty highway. Intrigued, I pushed open the creaky door, setting the stage for a tale that sent shivers down my spine. Inside, the Whispering Pine Diner felt frozen in time. The air was thick with an otherworldly quiet, broken only by the soft hum of an old jukebox in the corner. The red and white checkered tablecloths seemed to hold the memories of countless meals, and the faint aroma of coffee lingered in the air. Taking a seat at the counter, I noticed a stranger seated a few stools away. His appearance was peculiar, a tall figure with a wide-brimmed hat casting shadows over his face. His eyes, hidden beneath the hat's brim, seemed to watch my every move. The air grew colder, and the jukebox played a melancholic tune, setting the stage for a haunting encounter. I ordered a burger and fries, trying to shake off the unease that gripped me. The waitress, a middle-aged woman with tired eyes, took my order in silence. As she walked away, the stranger shifted his attention toward me, and his presence felt like a weight on my shoulders. Minutes passed like hours as I waited for my meal. The Whispering Pine Diner's atmosphere seemed to thicken, and an unsettling energy filled the air. Whispers of conversations long gone echoed in the stillness, as if the walls held the secrets of those who had dined here before. Suddenly, the stranger spoke, his voice a low, raspy whisper that sent a shiver down my spine. "Beware the choices you make, young one, for they shape the path ahead," he uttered cryptically, his eyes piercing through the darkness beneath his hat. Confused and unnerved, I asked him what he meant, but he remained silent, as if the answers were locked away in the shadows of the diner. The burger arrived, but my appetite had vanished. The stranger's enigmatic words hung in the air like a ghostly echo. As I prepared to leave the Whispering Pine, the stranger stood up, his figure towering over me. He handed me an old pocket watch, its hands ticking away like a heartbeat. "Remember, time is a gift, but it can also be a curse," he warned, his eyes filled with a wisdom that transcended the ordinary. The diner's lights flickered, and the stranger disappeared into the night, leaving behind a lingering sense of mystery. I clutched the pocket watch, feeling its weight in my hand, and walked back into the cold night. The moral lesson embedded in this spooky encounter became clear as I reflected on the stranger's words. The Whispering Pine Diner, with its ghostly atmosphere and cryptic warnings, served as a metaphor for the choices we make in life. Each decision, like a ripple, has the power to shape our journey and influence the paths of those around us. The stranger's gift, the pocket watch, symbolized the preciousness of time. The moral was simple but profound: to cherish the moments we have, make choices with kindness and empathy, and recognize that every decision molds the tapestry of our lives. As I walked away from the Whispering Pine Diner, I carried with me not only a mysterious encounter but also a valuable lesson that would guide my journey through the winding roads of life.
One chilly night, as the full moon painted the sky silver, I stumbled upon a roadside diner named the Crescent Moon. Its neon sign buzzed like a beacon in the darkness, promising warmth and maybe a comforting slice of pie. Little did I know that the Crescent Moon Diner held more than just the aroma of coffee and the clinking of utensils; it harbored a spine-chilling tale. The diner's interior seemed frozen in time. Red booths lined the walls, and the checkered floor creaked beneath my steps. The jukebox played an old tune, creating a nostalgic atmosphere that whispered of times long past. I took a seat at the counter, the worn vinyl stool squeaking as I settled in. The air in the Crescent Moon Diner felt heavy, as if the ghost of forgotten conversations lingered in every corner. The waitress, a middle-aged woman with tired eyes, approached me with a smile that didn't quite reach her gaze. I ordered a grilled cheese sandwich and a milkshake, trying to shake off the uneasy feeling that had settled upon me. As I waited for my order, a peculiar figure walked in. A man in a tattered trench coat, his hat pulled low to shadow his face, sat at the far end of the counter. His presence sent a shiver down my spine. The jukebox seemed to skip a beat, and an eerie silence fell over the diner. The waitress returned with my food, her hands trembling slightly. I asked her about the mysterious stranger, but she avoided eye contact, muttering something about him being a regular. As I took a bite of my grilled cheese, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off about this place. Suddenly, the lights flickered, and a cold breeze swept through the diner. I looked around, and to my horror, the mysterious man was now sitting right next to me. His eyes, hidden beneath the brim of his hat, gleamed like two piercing orbs in the dim light. He spoke in a hushed tone, his words sending chills down my spine. "Beware the shadows of your choices, for they have a way of finding you," he whispered cryptically, his voice carrying a weight of ancient wisdom. Fear gripped me as I tried to make sense of his words. The atmosphere grew tense, and the jukebox played a haunting melody that seemed to echo the stranger's warning. The Crescent Moon Diner felt like a gateway to another realm, a place where the choices we make cast long and haunting shadows. As the mysterious man faded into the shadows, leaving me bewildered, I paid for my meal and rushed out into the night. The air outside felt refreshing, and the moonlight provided a stark contrast to the unsettling atmosphere I had just left behind. The moral lesson embedded in this disturbing encounter struck me as I walked away from the Crescent Moon Diner. The stranger's cryptic words served as a reminder that our actions, even seemingly insignificant ones, can have profound consequences. The choices we make, like echoes, can follow us, influencing our present and shaping our future. In the glow of the moon, I vowed to be mindful of the shadows my choices might cast. The lesson was simple yet powerful: to choose kindness, empathy, and understanding, for in doing so, we create a path free from haunting regrets. As I continued my journey under the crescent moon, I carried with me not only the memory of a spine-chilling night but also a newfound awareness of the impact of my choices on the tapestry of life.